Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Barrett. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the World of Juice channel, and welcome back to the second off season here in Honolulu. That's right, the Desperados made it to the playoffs for the first time in franchise history here in year number 2. Unfortunately got knocked out in the first round, even though we were the 1 seed. It was against the 49ers. It's understandable. They went on to win the Super Bowl, so that makes the loss feel a little bit better, I guess. Not really, though. But now we can focus on the offseason. Maybe we were a little bit fraudulent in the second season. Maybe we didn't deserve to be as good as we were. Or maybe we deserved to be there and we just came up against a better 49ers team who kind of like disappointed a little bit in the regular season, but then when it got to playoff time, they turned it up. I don't know. A lot of variables could have happened, but it's year number 2. Crucially, Anthony Richardson went up from star to superstar development. That is a massive, massive improvement for year number 3. I'm super excited about that and super excited for the development of Anthony Richardson here in Honolulu. It's time for the offseason. This one could be very, very exciting in terms of the draft. The free agency is not going to be that exciting because we'd have no money, but the draft could be really, really useful for us. We could get some really good prospects. There's some good players in this draft and probably some good ones down the board too. So I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. Hit that like button if you're excited for year 2 off season here in Honolulu. Subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and let's go reload this team. So here we are. It is the off season of year number 2. We already took a look at all this stuff for last episode. If you're curious, go watch the end of last episode, the playoff episode. And if you're curious about the stats, go watch the other last episode, the end of the regular season. All that stuff has been taken care of. You can go and see all that stuff in those past episodes. Bijan and Micah Parsons swept the player of the year, which is awesome. And a big rebuild. I didn't even talk about the big upgrade for Bijan. He is now X Factor. So we have ourselves an X Factor running back, which is massive. An X Factor running back, along with an X Factor receiver, a great offensive line that could use a little bit of depth, to be fair. But a great offensive line, great tight ends, great receivers, a great quarterback. I mean, we're just getting better and better. The linebacking core is good. Could be better, but it's good. The defensive line is really good. Kellum is a superstar development player now. He might even pass Brissy at some point. Who knows? But I'm really excited about this team, man. I am really, really excited. Retirements, anybody big name? Harrison Smith, Bobby Wagner, Demario Davis, a lot of Washington players. Trent Williams is gone now. That's useful. Trent Williams retiring is huge. Teron Armstead, Tyron Smith, a lot of tackles, franchise left tackles retiring. Travis Kelce's gone. We lose Kelvin Beachum, but that's not that big of a deal. Travis Kelce has retired to go hang out with Taylor Swift, I guess. I don't know. Let's get to re-sign players. I don't think we need to re-sign anybody else. I think we did that all at the end of last episode or at the end of the regular season episode. I know we're going to lose Jalen Warren because we didn't re-sign him, but he might be the only one. Sauce, we're going to accept the option on. Derek Stingley, we're going to accept the option on. Trayvon Walker, we're going to accept his option. Jameson Williams, Cole Strange. Is that it? Okay, that's it. So we're going to lose Zach Ertz, not a big deal. We're going to lose Victor Dimukeje? I think it's Dimukeje. We're going to lose him too. And then Jalen Warren is the only one I'm a little bit upset about, but it's not that big of a deal, to be fair. We have 2 good running backs anyway in Achane and obviously Bijan. So it's not that upsetting to lose him. It's nice to have a third running back that you can count on, but it is what it is. Free agency, we'll take a little dip into it. Yep. Nick Chubb is available. Travarius Ward, Keenan Allen. This is a really good free agent class. Wow. Why can't I get these kind of classes in my rebuilds? Rasul Douglas is here. There's some good players in this class, this free agent class. I can't sign any of them, and I don't even know if I would. Obviously, we wouldn't sign Nick Chubb because we have Bijan. But there's some good players in here. Some good wide receivers, a little bit older, but some good wide receivers still. Some good offensive linemen. If I had any money, I'd probably sign a left tackle, maybe even Jedrick Wills. But we have no money to sign anybody. That's fine, though. That's absolutely fine. We don't need to sign anybody. We already have a good enough team. We don't need to go into spending money that we don't have. So we can go into the draft, figure out what's going to happen. Mock draft number 4 has us at 28 taking a left tackle. Probably not going to be the thing that we do, but it's interesting to see. I think we only have the 1 first-round pick. No, we have 2 first-round picks. They have us taking Tony Stevenson at 14. When did we get a second first-round pick? I don't remember. That could be useful to trade up to get this corner or this receiver. How good is this receiver? Jalen Leonard. We only have him at 50% scouted. He doesn't have the speed, but he looks pretty decent. But this corner is got to be generational. If he was a little bit taller, absolutely would get him. God, he looks good. He looks so good. Even Keenan Smith looks good. I talked about how I was a fan of him as well. He looks really good as well. Oh my God, both those guys look unbelievable. Both of those guys look unbelievable. Man, I don't really know where we're gonna what we're gonna do in this draft. It's gonna be a very interesting decision to make. That is for sure. 2 first-round picks. I forgot we had 2 first-round picks. Who did we get it from? I guess I could check. Who did I make that trade with? The Giants. When did I make the trade with the Giants? I honestly don't remember getting a second first round. We have their second-round pick as well. What did I do with the Giants? Let me think. When did I trade with the New York Giants to get a first and a second-round pick? We have the Raiders' 3rd as well. I don't remember. We don't have a second-round pick next year. I honestly don't remember getting the Giants' first or second-round pick. Maybe you guys are screaming at your screens saying, Juice, it's obvious you did this and this. I don't remember. It's been a while since I recorded some of those earlier episodes of the Desperados, so I have absolutely no idea off the top of my head who we traded with or who we traded to get those picks from the Giants. But it is time now for mock draft number 5. So the official mock draft has Wallace and Smith going 3 and 4, which is understandable. They're both unbelievably good. They have us officially taking Tony Stevenson, but that's just because he's the first guy on our board. There's some good players in this class, man. There are some really, really good players. Having 2 first-round picks changes a lot of stuff. It certainly does. It certainly changes a lot of stuff. Private workouts, I feel like the obvious things are to go and find out just how good Johnny Wallace is. He's got to be top 5 true talent. He's got to be a top 5 true talent. But also, I kind of want to know some other guys. Like Tyrese Barker looks pretty good. I might want to know a little bit more, or might want to know officially how good he is. Enrique Batista, I remember, looks really, really good. I might want to know how good he is officially. There's just so many different things we could do. I'm not sure what the move is going to be. And then obviously you got Keenan Smith. I think we looked at, was it Tim Lashley that looked as good as Keenan Smith? He looks not as good, but he looks solid. If we weren't able to get Keenan Smith, I feel like getting Tim Lashley would be a nice pickup. But I mean, both of those guys look phenomenal. I gotta know how good they both are officially. They're both probably true talent, top 5. But I need to know for sure just how good they are. And I might use my last one on one of these outside linebackers. Or maybe we just learn a little bit more about Barker or Enrique Batista. Do we want to know about Enrique Batista? 6'5" power rusher, good athlete, A power move, A pursuit, awareness, tackling. I mean, he looks really good. I'm intrigued. But there's also some pretty good looking linebackers that I have too. Oh, this is going to be tricky, isn't it? This is going to be a difficult draft. I just have a sneaky suspicion this is going to be a pretty difficult draft. Chris Wagner looks really good with the A pursuit. Ugh. Who do I want to use this last one on? I feel like we have to use it on somebody that's in the 2nd to 3rd round. to kind of give us a little bit of a better understanding of the round. So we got to choose one of these guys probably. I liked Robbie Rose, right? Yeah, he's got the elite speed. Ooh, I might use it on Robbie Rose. Yeah, let's use it on Robbie Rose. And then we'll go and add Johnny Wallace and then Keenan Smith. We need to know how good those two guys are. I'm assuming they're both top 5 true talents. I would guess. I'd feel pretty confident saying that. If they weren't, that would honestly shock me. If they weren't. I need to make sure that everything is upgraded here. Okay, so we have all the trade up stuff that we need to have upgraded. Perfect. That is exactly what I wanted to make sure. Now let's go to the draft. It's time. Are we going to need to trade up to get those 2 players? Let's go officially find out. So, they are Keenan Smith, a top 5 true talent, and for some reason it didn't work on Johnny Wallace. All right, that's annoying, but he's gonna be a top 5 true talent. That's pretty much guaranteed. I just wanted to see it. But Keenan Smith is also a top 5 true talent. What about Robbie Rose? It didn't work on him either. Oh, God, I hate this game. All right, whatever. Mock draft number 5 has 3 and 4. Okay. That's going to be very difficult to trade up to. Let's just say that right now. Oh. Do we need the corner more than we need the safety? Is he a free safety or is he a strong safety? I think he's a strong safety, so he would go right here with Buda Baker and Jeremy Chin. The only problem is we don't have any cap room to be able to trade those 2 guys for other stuff. If we had the cap room, I wouldn't worry, and I just trade Buda Baker and then start the rookie. But since we don't have the cap room, it makes things a little bit more difficult because we can't trade players. So I think we're going to lose out on the corner, even though we know he's a top 5 talent. Honestly, we don't need corner. I just would really want him. Keenan Smith, we know is a top 5 talent. I probably shouldn't have done that because we knew pretty much he was going to be a top 5 talent. I should have used it on Tim Lashley. Oh, this is going to be interesting. I have no idea where we're going to go in the draft. I have no idea. We need some depth on the offensive line, but I have absolutely no idea. The Jets have the number 1 overall pick. They will take Carlos McCune out of Washington State, left tackle. Jalen Leonard goes 2 to the Steelers, wide receiver from Auburn. We took a look at him. Johnny Wallace, corner from California, goes to Tampa Bay. Keenan Smith, strong safety, Michigan State, goes to the Saints. So we lose out on both those guys. Drew Bullard, quarterback from the Ohio State University, going to Detroit. Love to see it. Well, maybe not for Detroit, but Jalen Mobley, right tackle, Tennessee, not Memphis. Tennessee goes to the Rams. The Seahawks get Randy West, North Dakota State quarterback. The Titans will take David Bishop, Oregon State right end. Deshaun Silas, we took a look at him. Florida State right tackle goes to Denver. Patriots grab Leon Weathersby, cornerback Georgia, adding to the good corners they're already building with Gonzalez, Christian Gonzalez. I blanked on his name for a second. Lucas Kovacs, we had him on our board. He heads to Cleveland. Indianapolis will take Tyrese Barker, D-tackle Florida. He was probably going to be my pick if he was available. And then Jaden Hatchett, the replacement for Jalen Waddle, out of Alabama as well, heads to Miami. I was probably going to take Barker if he was on the board. Since he's not, that makes things a little bit more interesting. We're not going to take a receiver in the first round. We're not going to take a tight end in the first round. We're probably not going to take a left tackle in the first round, even though that might be a good idea. There's some good centers on the board, but they're round 2 to 3, 3 to 4. Okay, we'll have some time on them. Right tackle, this dude looks really good. Antonio Curtis from Ohio State. Decent enough athlete, really good pass blocker, 6'4", 308. He's an option. Probably not at 14 though. D-tackle, there's nobody else in the first round I want to take. All these guys are lower end guys. Down the board guys at middle linebacker. Same thing with right outside. And then the corners. This could be a solid trade down. There's a chance we get... There's a chance we get some good stuff for this draft pick. It's 14. And then maybe we grab Tim Lashley with our second first round pick. That's kind of what I'm thinking here. That's kind of what I'm thinking here. Or, nah, I think we can get more value for this pick. So we can get ourselves the 35th pick in the draft plus a second round pick. Ooh. So basically we'd be getting another first round pick. I mean, pick 35 is pretty close to a first round pick. Plus a pick next year. I kind of want to come away with 2 first round picks. This one's not bad from Tennessee. That's not 2 first round picks, but that's a solid return. We could trade down to pick 20 and then pick up a couple late round picks. We get a bunch of thirds from the Jets. The Jaguars are giving me an interesting trade for sure. Giants giving me 2 first round picks, which is kind of what I want. I like this Tampa trade though. Getting a first round pick next year is good. And then getting the 35th pick in the draft is also good. I like that. That might be what I do. Because we add a first round pick in 2026, which is next year's draft. Although this Tennessee trade is really good. We get their first, second, and third from 2026. So that would hurt the Titans a lot. But it would help us. Because we don't have a second round pick next year. We don't have a second round pick next year. And we wouldn't get that from Tampa. I think it's either going to be the Titans or Tampa who we trade with. I think those are the 2 best deals given to me. Although Patriots are offering me a first in 2027. That's not that bad. It is a few years down the line, though. The Giants were offering me the 2 first round picks, which I like. And then a bunch of picks this year, a couple picks this year. I think I'm going to go... I kind of want to go Tampa here. I think that's the smartest move. I know Tennessee's giving me their first through third in 2026, which in the long run might be the better deal. But I think this draft class has so many decent players in it that getting another second round pick is probably the way to go. Oh, this is so tricky. This is so tricky. And the question is Lashley even going to be there at pick 28 when we pick again? He could be, but he also could get taken. Oh, man, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Tampa's trade looks good, but Tennessee's getting a first, second, and third next year is probably the move. It would give us a second round pick that we don't have. It would give us a second, third, and a second first. But we're getting that second first from Tampa. We're just not getting the second round pick. I guess we could always get a second round pick if I absolutely need one. I think I'm going to go Tampa. Oh, I think that was the right move. I think that was the right move. We trade down. They take a D tackle. And we just have to hope that Lashley makes it to pick 28. Packers get a quarterback. Chris Stringer, from Ohio State, goes to the Panthers. Bobby Turner, Alex Wesley, Devin Porter, Eric Wakefield, and George Sellers. So Tim Lashley works. He falls to us, which is good. Also, Antonio Curtis is available. Well, this could change some things. We could come away with both of them. I do think that Antonio Curtis is a really good player, and we need backup offensive linemen. I think I'm going to take Antonio Curtis here. And then we come away with Tim Lashley with that Buccaneers pick. Hidden development, Antonio Curtis. I like it. I like it. 6'4", 308. We needed a backup tackle for left tackle, so we can move him over there if we absolutely have to. I mean, we could just take a left tackle down the board a little bit. And since we have the Bucs pick at pick 3 in the second round, we can ride it out and hope that Lashley makes it there. J.C. Knowles. Tim Lashley has made it to pick 3 of the second round. So is Matt Carter. Is Matt Carter worth it? 5'8", great speed. Probably not. I think we just stick with the game plan. Garrison Carmichael. I remember Garrison Carmichael. He looked pretty good. But I think we stick with the game plan. We take Tim Lashley here. Unless Antoine Hall looks better. The strength isn't there. It's probably too much of a risk. I think Tim Lashley is the safer pick. He's got a good athleticism. He doesn't need to start right away. He's hidden development, 89 speed, 86 acceleration, 87 agility. That's a really good value pick in the second round. Okay, so we've hit on our first 2 draft picks. We have pick 14 in the second round, which is our own first round pick, or our own second round pick. There goes Carmichael. I was hoping Enrique Batista would fall to me. He doesn't. He gets taken by the Seahawks. It was a. Wait, did I just skip my pick? Oh no. Okay. It was a little bit of a reach for him to think that he would make it there, but I was hoping. So Dion Ewing is still on the board, and he's very intriguing. Jamie Searcy, also really good player. Man, this is making it super hard for me. I don't really know where to go. The tight ends are still on the board. Zaire Shepard is on the board. So is Jack St. Clair. Oh, God. The good offensive linemen are still here, and that's going to make it tricky for me. That is going to make it tricky for me. Does it show me what my draft picks are? So we have this pick, and then we have pick 28 in the second round as well. That's the other. This is the Giants pick. And then we have a 3rd, 4th, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so we can come away with some good players in this class. I know we can. It's just a matter of who do we choose with this pick. This is probably going to be either an offensive lineman or it's going to be Jamie Searcy. Now, we don't need Jamie Searcy as much because we have Brian Bresee and we have Kellum. Getting Dion Ewing is probably the smarter move. Unless there's a reason he's fallen this far. But he looks decent. He can't really run block, but he can pass block pretty well. At least I think he can. And at pick 14, we already have we've had 3 second-round picks. This is going to be our second-round pick. We have 3 second-round picks because I traded with the Bucks. I'm going to take Dion Ewing. Hidden development, 81 strength. He's probably going to be a little bit too low of an overall, but he doesn't need to start right away, and that's good offensive line depth. We got 2 tackles, and we got a strong safety, or a free safety. No, strong safety. I don't know what he is. But now we go to, there goes Tony Stevenson. Chase Holcomb. Okay, some of the guys that we had on our board are going to start going, which is obvious. There goes Jamie Searcy. We just didn't need him. We have 2 really good D tackles right now, so it's not like we needed Tommy Tolliver. All right, back to our pick. The 3rd second-round pick that we've had. Matt Carter must be really bad if he's still on the board here. This is going to have to be one of the centers or a guard. I think that's the move here. Because these third-round picks are probably going to be here, but not a lot of these guards are going to be here. It's probably going to be Zaire Shepard. I remember him looking pretty good. Yeah, he looks really good. Zaire Shepard's my 3rd second-round pick. 92 strength, 6'5", 6'5". He can move to tackle. That's a big guard. All right, we have hit really well in this draft. We have hit really, really well in this draft. Junior Rogers goes. I could just skip to my pick, which is pick 18 in the 3rd round. I don't think I'm going to make any trades, so I think I'm just going to do that. Skip to pick 18. All right. Matt Carter's still on the board. At some point, I might just take Matt Carter just to find out how good he is. Okay, so the rest of the centers got taken, which is kind of annoying. But there's still some linebackers on the board. Bobby Rose is still here, who, unfortunately, we don't know how good he is, really, because it didn't work, I guess. Oh, but I think we got to take one of these outside linebackers. Is it going to be Shaquem Love? He's not the best athlete. He looks not great, but he doesn't look bad either. Tremaine McNair, he's got the elite speed and elite acceleration. He's got the A play rec and zone coverage. It says he's a run stopper, but he looks more like a pass coverage outside linebacker. And then you got Chris Wagner. Did he have elite speed too? No, he only had great speed, but elite acceleration. He's got the A pursuit and A tackling and the B block shed. What did McNair have for block shed? He had, we don't know. It could be B, it could be D. They look similar. I think McNair's the better player because of the overall speed difference. It might not be that much of a difference, but I think he is the better player. But we do know for sure that Wagner's got A pursuit, A tackling, and B block shed. We don't know that for Tremaine McNair. We're not going to take Johnny Barton. We're not going to take Marco Joseph. The only other guy I would think about would be Bobby Rose because he's got the elite speed. But hopefully he's here in the 4th round. It's going to be one of these two guys. We just have to kind of guess on who the better player is. Who do we think the better player is? Do we take the guy that we know has the better skills but is slightly slower? Or do we take the guy that we know is an unbelievable athlete for an outside linebacker but doesn't have the power moves or the pass rushing skills that Chris Wagner has? I think I'm going to take Chris Wagner. Hidden development, 85 speed, 90 excel for an outside linebacker is still pretty good, which means that Tremaine McNair's speed must be absolutely insane. It must be in the 90s or maybe 89. It's got to be something crazy. There goes Bobby Rose? Wow, I didn't think he'd go this high in the 3rd round, especially when Tremaine McNair's still on the table. Maybe this is a chance to take Tremaine McNair and get both of the guys that I wanted. He's still pretty down the board. He's lower than... Where's he at? There he is. He's still lower than Von Vance and Shaquem Love, who I think are worse than him. I think we let it ride a little bit further into the 3rd round and maybe try to make a trade up. And of course, the Bengals take him. I hate my life. He was down the board, and other guys were ahead of him, and yet they take him. I guess they realized that he was going to be better. They saw what I saw. Matt Carter is still here. He must be absolutely terrible if he is still here. Not a whole lot left on our board. Shaquem Love, Johnny Barton, and then Matt Carter here in the 4th round. Do we take Johnny Barton here? A-man coverage, B-zone coverage. That's all we really know. He's not the fastest, but he's 4.59 speed. That's not horrible. Shaquem Love's got to be an absolute bust. B block shed, B pursuit. He's not the guy. He's not the guy. What about Joey Howard? 6'3", 180 from Ohio State, right? Yeah. He's got good speed, D zone coverage. He's a man-to-man. No, he's a slot. Interesting. What about Leslie Green? What did I see in him? 6'1" power back. Elite jumping. Probably got some crazy hurdles. A ball carrying vision. A carrying, A stiff arm. Leslie Green's an intriguing prospect as well. Do we just take the two offensive players? Matt Carter and Leslie Green? I kind of want to take Matt Carter just to find out how bad he really is. I mean, he ran 4.38 at his pro day. He can't be that bad. He's 5'8", which is probably what's hurting him. I'm going to take him. Only normal development. I'm not surprised if he's still on the board here in the 4th round. But 93 speed, 91 excel, 91 change direction. He's a fast receiver at 5'8". He can't really do much. But I had to know. I had to know how bad he was. And maybe he ends up... I mean, normal development for a receiver is not the end of the world by any means. You put them in a good offense, and they can dominate really quickly. And Leslie Green got taken. I probably should have taken Leslie Green instead of Matt Carter, but I had to know. I had to know how good he was. We're going to take Joey Howard here. He's the final guy on our board. 92 speed, 89 acceleration, 89 jumping, 90 acceleration, 90 agility, 89 acceleration. 6'3" corner out of Ohio State. Love it. 8 tackling. It is what it is. He was the last guy that we had scouted. That is probably going to be the end of my draft. I honestly probably should have taken Leslie Green instead of Matt Carter. I'm kind of regretting taking Matt Carter now, but I mean, he's fast. He's solid. Garrison Jones, pass coverage, outside linebacker, A, awareness, A, zone coverage, B, pursuit. We'll grab him. 84 speed, 87 acceleration. All right. That's a 6th-round pick. Nice depth. Nice depth. And then into the 7th round, our final pick. Who are we going to grab? The wide receivers are getting passed up on. It is all wide receivers. Holy crap. That's crazy. Evan Hampton, middle linebacker. Doesn't do anything that well, though. I might try to take a little peek at offensive line again. Everybody's potentially undrafted, which is a little bit upsetting. Now all the good players are probably gone. Yeah, all the good players are probably gone. There's a guy, Lakeem Williams, who has a chance to have an A's at a couple different positions, but probably not. Tyson Parrish. If they were only a little bit better of an athlete, I'd probably grab them. But I don't think it's worth it. I mean, it's the 7th round. I guess it's not that big of a deal. It doesn't really matter who we grab here. I don't even know where to go. Is there like a freak maybe? Patrick Lynn, right outside linebacker with A, what was it? A zone coverage? Yeah. B awareness. He's going to be super low overall. Another corner. Oh, maybe I missed a running back. Maybe there's a slightly better running back than... I mean, Leslie Green was pretty good. We could always trade for him if we absolutely need him, but probably not. There's not going to be a running back that's going to be worth taking, is there? Probably not. Deontay Shepard. Poor speed. That's not a good look. It's not looking good for you, my boy. Not looking good for you. There's a bunch of receivers that have gotten passed up on. We don't need another receiver, especially taking Carter. Keith Nugent, tight end, elite strength. Could be a good blocker, I guess. A, catching traffic, B, catching. Keith Nugent, 6'5" out of Miami. He's intriguing enough. We're going to take him. How good is his blocking? I guess we don't know until we find out his actual ratings. 85 acceleration, though. Pretty solid. I mean, it's a 7th-round pick. I should have taken Leslie Green. I should have taken Leslie Green, but I think that was a really, really good draft. We came away with some really good players. I like it. I like it a lot. 73 overall for Antonio Curtis, our only first-round pick. Then Tim Lashley ends up being a 73. None of these guys have to start right away, so that's not... The overalls aren't that important. Deion Ewing, our second round pick, 71 overall. Zaire Shepard, 73. Chris Wagner's a 73 with 85 speed, 90 acceleration. Awesome. Matt Carter's a 68. I just needed to know how good he was, or how bad he was, I guess I should say. Joey Howard ends up being a 71. He was kind of a flyer pick that we took. Garrison Jones, 65, and then Keith Nugent, 65 as well. I think that's a really good draft. A lot of hidden development. The best player in the class was Johnny Wallace, 83, then Keenan. They were both 83 overalls. We knew they were going to be unbelievable. We absolutely knew they were going to be unbelievable. Not a surprise whatsoever. Not a surprise whatsoever. We need to find out, though, how good that running back Leslie Green was. He was taken in, what, the 4th round, I think? There he is. Leslie Green, 75 overall. That would have been a nice pickup. A nice 3rd running back for behind Achane and Bijan, obviously. I need to know how good those, or what those X factors are on Keenan Smith and Wallace. What are the X factors on you guys? Please don't be X factor. Star for Johnny Wallace. That's crazy. Okay. And then Keenan Smith, what's he got? He might have X Factor or Superstar. Superstar X Factor for Keenan Smith, and he was the one I was going to get. Oh, that's brutal. But that's okay. It's all right. I like our draft. I do. I think that we came away with some solid pieces. None of them need to start right away because we have a good team already. So it's not a big deal. None of them need to go right away, but we can add some depth. That's awesome. That's what we needed to do. We got Deion Ewing. We got Curtis. We got Shepard now there. You love to see it. Good wide receivers, good running back, good quarterback. We need to see a third-year development from him. Wagner will be right down there. Yeah, I mean, this team's good. This team's good, man. I don't know what else to say. I like Kaiser White. Kitchens is still here from last season, or the last draft. We're on top of the world, man. We are on top of the world. We got so much young talent, so much good talent, that it's not really... We don't really need to go crazy in the draft. But thanks to that trade down with Tampa Bay, we now have 2 first-round picks, and that one's actually projected to be 3rd. That's kind of crazy. I don't think it'll stay at 3rd, but it is projected to be 3rd. We could capitalize on that value and maybe trade for somebody. I don't know. That could be in the next episode. We will start season number 3 in the next episode. We'll go weeks 1 through 9 in season 3. Next episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you enjoyed the offseason, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.